Hello everybody, welcome to Gunnar Weiskamp's Web Development. So lesson 1, we're going to talk about why use Angular and some key concepts. What is Angular? Angular is a JavaScript framework. It allows you to create responsive websites. It was released in 2010 and Google currently supports and maintains the code. It's free to use, that's always handy. C, is it better than other JavaScript languages? My background is in JavaScript, jQuery and Angular. So if we were to do a Angular versus jQuery comparison, I've got the following to say. They do have fundamental differences. jQuery is a JavaScript library, while Angular is a JavaScript framework, and those are two big differences. Angular supports and uses the MVC architecture approach. Angular supports two-way binding. Angular supports dependency injection. So on those three, jQuery does not do that. So which one is better? From my perspective, either one can do more or less the same thing, but in a different manner. Again, from my perspective, Angular has more concepts to learn and consider, while jQuery is more free-flowing. So for me, neither one is better than the other. If you got a Angular programmer who knew Angular inside out, gave them a app, you did the same for a jQuery guy, I think you'd find the app would work the same code base, same result. Other people might disagree with that. So D, are there any pitfalls to look out for when using Angular? There's always some. With any language, well, there's more than some, there's many. For those new to JavaScript languages, try to ensure that the version of the language you're using works with the code that you're writing. As an example, you might see some Angular code that you want to try out. So you install the latest Angular version into your code, grab that code and find it does not work. What you might find is that your Angular version does not support some of the features of the code that you're experimenting with. An example is of this, my bad spelling, an example of this is the commonly used HTTP GET Angular service. In the old days, you would write the code such as this here, HTTP GET, your URL, you'd use the keyword success and then you use some magical do code in here. If you were to use that with the latest version of Angular, you would get an obscure error. For me, they're obscure anyway. So with the latest version of Angular, you would write that code as such. Use the HTTP GET, again the same URL here, but you use this then keyword rather than the success keyword. So if you come across that, you would scratch your head because you'd have the success keyword and you think, oh, all looks okay, but the version's different. So one version works with the success, another version of Angular works with the then keyword, so this can cause you a bit of a headache initially when you're getting used to the language. Next, key, yeah, okay, took a couple of clicks. Key Angular concepts. Angular supports two-way binding. The ng model and scope objects are used to get the front end HTML and the back end JavaScript code in sync. Cool. Angular supports MVC architecture approach. MVC stands for Model View Controller. To help explain this concept, I have created the below pictures. Picture 1 over here, mousey is, represents the view. Picture 2 represents the model, while picture 3 represents the controller. So any code placed in the HTML area here, where I've got my mouse, is in the view. Any code placed in the Angular controller over here represents the controller. I've sort of lost track of my mouse. And a model is a representation of the data you're trying to show. So here in this model, this scope my information is a representation of the information that you're trying to show. So you've got your first name, your last name, your favorite movies. That's considered the model. Another key Angular concept is dependency injection. Angular supports dependency injection. This means that you inject the JavaScript process that you want into your controller. As a picture below, in the picture below, we can see we have inserted the scope and the location service of Angular into the My Controller of this controller. If your controller needs that service, you need to inject that service into it. So explaining the code here, this is a Angular controller. You have to give each controller a name. I've given this My Controller. I've called it My Controller. And in this controller, we can see we're inserting the scope and the location service, or services, functions, whatever terminology you want to call them. And in this controller, we can actually see we're using the scope service. If we were to take this scope out here, this code would no longer function. Technically, in this controller, we don't need this location service. It's not being used, as we can see. So you could take this out, and the code would still function as normal. There are other concepts in Angular. These three are key concepts which you'll probably initially find you're using a lot. So I think they're good to cover first starting off. That's it for this first tutorial. Feel free to visit my website there. Next, we're going to create our first app, install Angular, the different ways of installing Angular into an app, and build on some of those key concepts as we go. I do appreciate your time, and I hope this has been fun and informative. Thank you.